Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is another makeup tutorial and it is on the look I am wearing right now. So I wanted to do another makeup tutorial using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, but I wanted to use more of the pink and red shades, so this is the look that I came up with. So my eyes are very pink and I paired it with a very bright pink lip as well, and yeah, so I really like the way it turned out. I included a little first impression of the, well, not really first impression, but you can see me in the video using the Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette for the very first time. It arrived in the mail this morning because it was back in stock in Space NK. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still in stock, but yeah, so I managed to pick that one up and it arrived this morning, so I wanted to show me using that for the first time as well, so that's in this tutorial. And yeah, I think that's all the rambling I've got to do. My hair is very fluffy and it's very 80s today actually, but I'm feeling it. Anyway, so yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be notified of any future videos. Leave any video suggestions in the comments down below, and yeah. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
So I've already filled in my eyebrows and now I'm going to prime my eyes with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden. So I'm dabbing this on my eyes and then I'm going to blend it in with a concealer buffer brush from Zoeva. And then I'm going to set that with the shade Foxy from the Naked Basics palette. Now I'm digging into the Modern Renaissance palette and I'm taking the shade Golden Ochre on a Zoeva 228 Luxe crease brush, and I'm just buffing this into the crease as my transition shade. I always find that the first shadow is the one that takes the longest to apply, so what I do is with my transition shades, I apply a little bit and then just keep buffing it out and then keep going in to build up the intensity of the shadow until I get the look that I'm going for. Although I've cut it down quite a lot in this video, it does take me such a long time with my transition shades, normally about like 15-20 minutes depending on the look. The next shade I'm going in with is Burnt Orange, and I'm taking that on a Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer, and again buffing that into the crease but not taking it as high up as Golden Ochre, just keeping it to the immediate crease area and then buffing it out with the same brush I used to apply Golden Ochre with no additional product. I'm just using these shadows to create a kind of warm base for the pink tones that I'll begin with later. I don't want the look to just look completely pink, I want there to be like a warm undertone and to make it look a bit more wearable. Now for the fun bit, I'm taking the shade Love Letter and I'm taking this on a Zoeva 224 Luxe Defined crease and I'm buffing this into my crease. I am using it on this kind of brush because I don't want it to go too high up. I want you to still be able to see the warm shadows underneath, but to make it look like an actual pink eyeshadow look. So I'm just buffing out the edges of that shadow with a 228 Luxe crease brush that I used earlier, and I'm just keep going in and building up layer by layer because I don't want to go in too heavy because then it makes it too difficult to blend out. I'm just doing little layers and building up to a very intense pink shade. This colour is kind of the basis for the whole look, so that's why I'm taking such a long time with blending this into the crease. I want it to come off as a pink look, like in its entirety. I don't want it to just look as if it's got a splash of pink in it. I want it to be completely pink. So I'm just taking a long time to build this up in the crease. And again, blending out the edges with the Luxe crease brush. I find this is really important for a look like this because I don't want there to be any harsh edges at all. I want the pink to seamlessly blend in with the transition shades that I placed earlier. So going in with the same brush I used to apply them just makes the whole process a lot easier. Now I'm just taking the same Love Letter shade on Zoeva 234 Luxe Smoky Shader and packing this all over the lid. I want this to be like a completely, as I mentioned like a million times before, I want this to be completely pink, so I'm just using the same shade all over the lid, and then I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to it later, but this is the basis for the full look. Once I've packed that all over the lid, I'm taking the same Zoeva 224 Luxe Defined Crease that I used to apply Love Letter in the crease, and using this to buff the shades further into the crease so it doesn't look like there's a divide between the shades, so it looks seamless. Next I'm going with the shade Vermeer on a Zoeva 237 Detail Shader, and I'm just packing this on the centre of the lid. I didn't want this to be like an overwhelming sparkle or anything on the look, but I just wanted there to be a little bit of shimmer. I didn't want it to be completely matte or anything, so I'm just going over this shade with more Love Letter, and just to add a little bit of something different to the lid shade. Next I'm going with the shade Red Ochre on a 231 Luxe Petite Crease, and I'm just buffing this into the crease. I wanted there to be a little bit more depth in the look, just so it wasn't all one flat colour. And again, blending this out with the Zoeva 224 Luxe Defined Crease that I used to apply Love Letter. Again, taking the shade Vermeer on a 237 Detail Shader and just packing this on my brow bone. Now I'm just taking the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara and applying it to my top lashes. And today I'm going to be using the Eylure Lengthening Lashes in the style number 115. And now I'm onto my face. So I was going to skip past all of my face products, but that day that I was filming, I got the Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette in the nail, so this was in stock in Space NK, and I just wanted to include a little first impressions of it. So right now I'm applying the Pamplemousse Mineral Blush to my cheeks using the Real Techniques Bold Metals Blush Brush. This blush is a gorgeous pink shade and it's so blendable, but it is insanely pigmented, so I just took the same Real Technique contour brush that I used to apply my loose setting powder to blend out the edges. Now for highlight, I already own Champagne Pop, so I wanted to try Jaclyn's new highlight, which is Prosecco Pop. So it's a gorgeous, like, traditional gold shade, and I was a bit wary about how it would look on pale skin, but it seemed to tie in with this look really nicely. So I'm just applying this to my cheekbones with the Real Techniques setting brush that I always use to highlight, and I'm also applying it to the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. And here's me dying over how amazing this highlight is. It's just an incredible gold shade. Jaclyn done an amazing job. I love it so much. It's just a different shade from Champagne Pop, so it's not like similar at all. Champagne Pop seems a little more rose gold in the pan compared to Prosecco Pop. Prosecco Pop is a traditional straight up gold, whereas Champagne Pop has a little bit of like a kind of pinky sheen as well. Now that my little first impression is over, it's back to the eyes. So I'm taking the shade Love Letter on a Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush, and I'm just placing this under the lower lash line. To smoke out the lower lash line even more, I'm taking the shade Cyrus Umber on a Zoeva 226 smudger brush and placing this as close to the lower lash line as I possibly can. Next, taking the shade Vermeer on the same detailed shader brush, I'm just packing this on the inner corner of the eye. Now I'm taking the Makeup Geek Full Spectrum Eyeliner Pencil in the shade Obsidian, and I'm just lining my tight line and also my waterline. After a coat of Benefit Roller Lash Mascara on the lower lashes, my eyes are done, and then it's on to lips. So I'm taking the MAC Lipstick in the shade Chatterbox, and I'm just applying this all over my lips. Because this is such a bright pink shade, I'm kind of dulling it down a bit by rubbing it in with my fingers before I top it off with a lip gloss. And today I've decided to use the Jouer lip topper in the shade Skinny Dip, and I'm applying this all over my lips to add a little bit of sparkle to the look. And that is the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!